Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. This may be a bit of a, um, no purpose video, just following on from the last one. The idea of that, things being far off into the future, our development, our evolution, our understanding or changing of the way that we live. And I think about it sometimes how impossible it would be to change thousands of years of, let's call it programming. It's not, well, it is a sort of programming, isn't it? The way that we accept and teach our children and parents and teachers and etc. Movies, the system, the day-to-day living, the way our minds are set, as it were, because as well, I suppose they are, because when we're a baby, we know nothing, and we have to pass on that information so that we can evolve. But the problem is, what if the framework that we're giving our children is one that's enslaving them and not bringing out their potential, which is what I personally believe through these pursuits of truth. That when you see the amount of suffering that's going on around the world, I've given you many examples. Every day there's something on the news, and this is just what the news picks for us to see. There must be far worse out there that it can't possibly show us, because they don't they don't want to show us these things. When it comes to death, when it comes to this thing, they blank it out, they don't show it because they're worried about well, I don't know what they're worried about, because there's many movies that glorify violence and many video games. So I don't know why it is when the news they can't show the truth. They can't let us make our mind. I know for children, yeah, past 9 o'clock with a warning that we're going to show you, just maybe then we would sort of, it's like war. When people see John Wayne or John Mills war films, it's glorified. Whereas if you show the reality, you'd probably throw up and think, oh, I never want to do this. Why would anyone want to put their life, their one existence, for somebody else's dream that's got nothing to do with them, that's got to do with division and invasion and possession? But anyway, that's getting off but the thing I'm trying to say is that the settings that we have, the possessiveness, the greediness, the selfishness, the way that we want to hold on to these things that we see as beneficial, like television, like entertainment, like culture, like diversity. And I'm not saying there is, when I say diversity, I mean the things that box us, cultural things. We all want to be different. That's important for us all to be different. If we're all the same, then we're robots. But the problem is all these settings that are already there that keep us fighting all the time with each other and keep us in this constant loop of the system of banks, of work, of business, of pharmaceutical, of government, all these structures that are templates, as I call them, around the world, exactly the same. No matter where you go, they all have the same template, strangely, no matter whether they believe in democracy or not, or communism, or financial gain, whichever government system they've gone for. They all have the same template, just variations. And these templates don't work for the vast majority of us, and they enslave us, and they don't bring out the best of humanity, because we're unable to do things because of money. We're unable to do things because of this, that, and the other. We're not unable to do things because we don't have enough people. We're not unable to do things because we don't have the mindset or the ideas. We don't have a limitation because of the abundance of the things that we would need to do them. Like we could infrastructure the whole world like the West, so that it had everything. So it had perfect hospitals, perfect schools. We could do all of that stuff. There's nothing that stops us from people or from manpower or from ideas or from materials. The thing that stops us is the system, the money, the idea of that I don't want you to be above me, the way that we look down or treat other countries or peoples. All that mindset stuff is the stuff that's slowing us down and stopping everyone from having a good existence. I do wonder, it does depress me when I think about the impossibility of this, because most people don't see it this way. Most people are just happy to wake up, go to their work, come home, and blah, 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 and carry on. And of course, obviously, when you get to the realization that how would you change thousands of years of teaching? How would you change all these powerful people who hold this position, that keep this position by the unfair system that we live in, the politicians that send their kids to the best schools? Why is it we have schools that are like 4, rating 4, need improvement? Well, how is that possible? Why is that system allowed to continue? But it is. No politician is going to send their children to that school. They're going to go to private school, or if they do go to public school, it'll be the best public school. It's not going to be to a one that needs improvement. They're never going to send anyone there. And so that, therefore, those people that have the power, their children go to good education, and it continues. And because they have the power, they have the links. And then they always, the same families stay, like the royalty stay. That's not some kind of Game of Thrones conspiracy. That's how it is. There are families that maintain this position and their legacy. And so how do you topple those people? Well, you can't, because everyone's following like sheep. And then when you realize that, that I'm an individual and there's nothing I can do about it, then so it is very difficult when you think of how do we get to a point. I mean, I always go back to H.G. Wells' idea of, like, a nuclear explosion killing the 3/4 of the world, and then we all start again. But more than likely than not, we would adopt the same things, because that's what we do. We adopt the same things. We're scared of change or different things, or the imbalance of power. So it probably wouldn't work. We probably would just recreate the same thing. Even if we had to go to another planet, we'd recreate the same structure that we had here with all the same frailties and problems. We wouldn't think, oh, well, now we don't need money, or now we don't need this, that, and the other. Unless gradually we evolve out of it, because we don't, money is now paper, it's now digital, and then maybe in the future it's not necessary. People do things because they want to do things. They want to help out. They want to make things. They want to do this, that, and the other because they want to do it. Humans don't need money to do things. That's inside them. I don't know. What do you think? Take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace.